Namaskar. This is a 360-degree view at what is playing out as far as releasing the Epstein files are concerned. I have done a lot of research and I'm going to give you a very unbiased look at whether Trump was involved or not, or whether it was Trump whose files may also have been present, which is that why he decided to not release them? Is there any truth in the fact that all the files have been destroyed? All sorts of questions are being asked. I have now fairly documented evidence of what has played out so far, and I would not write out the possibility that somebody else may have a set of these files. I'm going to give you a bunch of references in the reference section. Go take a look at it and watch and see for yourself what is out there right now. For sure, the MAGA is pissed off with Trump because they really played it up that Epstein files is going to be released. All the big fat cats are going to be brought to book, and none of that is happening. Where have I heard this before? Modi government. All the scams of UPA, nobody has gone to jail. So this is the political reality, and I hope this slide deck will give you an idea of what is really playing out and why what is happening is what is happening. It is very much possible that Bondi might be asked to step down if in case this starts gathering momentum and the Trump administration needs a scapegoat. I hope it won't come to that, because she has been pretty convincing in her answers. I'm going to go through all that stuff. Small request to all of you to please like this video, and if you have not already subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel. Here we go. You have to excuse me for 1 second. I've got the wrong slide deck loaded. I'm going to change that real quick, and hopefully this will not take more than a few seconds. Hang on a second. There. This is the right deck, and again, apologies for that. Hopefully we will take it out, trim it out a little bit later. But right now, let's take a quick look at what happened in this saga. Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, and many other enthusiastic bloggers who were strongly supporting Trump are now beginning to ask questions. Steve Bannon, for example. So all that stuff is going to be revealed here. And I'm also hearing that there was a fiery fight between Don Bongino, the deputy director of FBI, and Bondi that took place in the White House. And unfortunately or fortunately, Don, it is believed to have threatened to resign, but he decided not to. And there's also stories, rumors going around 𝗏𝗏 Patel and his new girlfriend. Again, these are all things that are available as reference links. You're welcome to go through and look at them and make your own decisions. Right now, as things stand, DOJ and FBI have released a memo concluding that Jeffrey Epstein died by suicide in 2019, and that there was never a client list, a blackmail list, or ties to any intelligence agencies. Keep that in mind, because reference number 17, if you go in and look at that, there is something that you hear there that is quite contrary to what is said here. Again, I don't want to assume that what is said in reference 17 is the truth, but there are some things that are provided there that give you food for thought. Now, the other thing is that on that fateful day, was he killed or did he commit suicide? Because surveillance footage has a 1 minute gap. And this 1 minute gap was explained by Bondi, saying that this was a video system that was circa 1999, and that every day it reset from 11:58 to 12 a.m. and that's why that gap, and then it starts recording again. That is the explanation she has given, and that nothing happened. So that is their part of it. Now, what has happened is the base voters, the MAGA influencers, who long believed that Epstein's secrets would expose global elites, because this is not just limited to America. It's not limited to North America. It's not even limited to the entire South America and North America. It is many people were snagged in this net. I mean, I have put one video before where I talked about the names that have surfaced. Bill Clinton, for example, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, and a whole bunch of other names. I don't want to just say a few and then leave out the others, but be that as it may, here is something where many politicians appear to have been involved. Many other people of prominence have also appeared to have been involved. So the betrayal feeling that the MAGA voters are having is real. I don't know what Trump is going to do to get them out of this funk, because what happened was Trump showed frustration at a White House meeting when asked about Jeffrey Epstein. This happened 2 days ago yesterday. The DOJ and FBI confirmed Epstein died by suicide and that there is no client list. And Bondi started explaining, but Trump cut in and said, Epstein is a creep, and he criticized the media for focusing on him amidst national crises like the Texas floods, calling the ongoing attention on Epstein unbelievable. He also said, while Pam Bondi was starting to answer, he interrupted and said, look, why are you still talking about this topic? So he is clearly, it's gotten under his skin. He wants to this to go away, and it is not going away. It's a big deal, because you combine this with what happened in Diddy Combs' verdict, which is a split verdict. Again, we don't know what that means. People start getting the idea that these rascals, these scoundrels of the society who have made a lot of money, who have a lot of power and privileges and what have you, they think they can do whatever and get away with it. That's the feeling that everybody's getting, and something has to be done to show that it is not the truth, and they have to at least get a few people caught and netted. Otherwise, I think this is going to become bigger, although Democrats are justifiably quiet because their own guy is snagged in this. I've heard rumors that even Obama may have been there. Look, this is something like a privilege of this class. They feel like it is their entitlement, and nobody could dare ask them all these questions. So you see how this is playing out now. Who are the people raising voices? Tucker Carlson, Elon Musk, and Steve Bannon. And they've all said that, look, this administration is trying to cover up. Now, even the most loyal foot soldiers of MAGA are struggling to explain how top Trump officials could close the Epstein case after promising for years that it would expose shadowy global elites. For example, there is this talk about Red Room. We'll never know what exactly happened in a Red Room. So let's see what Bannon said. Bannon said that he wanted an independent investigation. These are all big guys, right? Breitbart News, Bannon's channel gets millions of views. Same with Tucker Carlson, I don't have to tell you, Megyn Kelly, and of course Elon Musk. He owns X, and he's going to scream from the pulpit saying that this is wrong, and so on and so forth. I'm sorry for getting my accents mixed up here. Please bear with me. Now, what Bannon said was, please appoint a special prosecutor to look into that. So he's not buying the idea that there was no list. And also he's demanding the head of Pam Bondi. See, Bannon was needed for Trump for the first term, but within a few months of his first term itself, he sidelined him, and he stays in the doghouse till now. And I think he's trying to curry favor back into his inner circle. I don't know what's going to happen there, but Trump is a very mercurial person. Who knows? He could be back in his good books. So we'll wait and see. Now, Judicial Watch lawsuit aims to uncover withheld Epstein records. So there is a Freedom of Information Act, FOIA, that exists in the United States, and that was initiated by Judicial Watch to ask and unseal all the Epstein files. But the Department of Justice has said, no, we are not going to do that. So we have to wait and see. Judicial Watch has filed a joint status report in a federal court on July 7th. That's 4 days ago. This report confirms, see, the thing is, this information was obtained from FOIA. The report confirms that DOJ and FBI are still searching for and reviewing records related to Epstein. So there is something there. And now for Pam Bondi to say, well, there isn't anything. See, this is why I'm saying that Pam Bondi could be target number one. Because they are saying, look, in a February interview with Fox, you stated the Epstein list is sitting on my desk right now for review. Now, she tried to explain her way out of that in yesterday's conference, saying that like other lists, other files, this file was also there. I was misquoted. So here, what is happening is people are saying, look, you got our hopes up, and then now you are completely tamping them down. Bondi says many Epstein videos cannot be shown publicly as they constitute child pornography. FBI and DOJ claim no evidence Epstein had a client list and no prosecutable third parties were identified in over 300 gigabytes of evidence reviewed. In February, conservative influencers were invited to White House and given the binders labeled Epstein Files Phase 1 and declassified, though the materials reportedly contained nothing new. Like I said, right, the names I quoted right at the beginning of this monologue, these were all there. Those names were mentioned. The episode left many on the right disappointed and critical of Bondi's handling of the case. I don't think it is Bondi's fault. Unfortunately, she might be the scapegoat that the administration might use in case this becomes really hot. We are still in the beginning phases of the questioning and the surprise shock in amongst the MAGA faithfuls. So we have to wait and see how this goes. So there are also questions asked, how come this 1 minute was missing? I told you about it, that the prison camera system is from 1999. It skips that minute when resetting. And that, again, one of the links gives you the exact video. You can take a look at it. And I've already explained this slide, so we can go on to the next one. Now what happened is, what happened within the FBI itself. 𝗥𝗘𝗙𝗿 and Bongino, both MAGA heroes now in senior FBI roles, have accepted the DOJ's suicide conclusion. Or have they? This is what I said, that there appears to have been a huge showdown between Bongino and Bondi. I think it is believed that he even threatened to resign. However, he has not resigned. Again, we are at the beginning of this whole fracas. We'll have to wait and see how this thing plays out. The other thing is, people are saying that, did Jeffrey Epstein have ties to the Israeli intelligence? Is the Israeli intelligence really holding all the data now that US has said there is nothing existing? Well, again, reference number 17. Take a look at that. There are some videos there. I mean, if you want to really go into the depth of this matter, go through all the references, viewers. Like I said, we have spent a day trying to put this thing together, and I don't want to say one party is guilty or the other, and I just wanted to place the facts as I saw fit. MAGA's fundamental distrust of the deep state now comes into sharp focus, because it was believed that many in the deep state were also Epstein's clients. It was believed, right? So we got some names and some claims. And like, again, I said, if you go through the references, you will understand whose names were being mentioned by people who happened to be on those planes, where people used to shuttle from the United States to Epstein's Island. And even though 𝗥𝗘𝗿 and Don Bongino have made their own statements, the MAGA faithfuls are not buying it. Social media has completely gone bonkers on this. Now it's a weekend now. We have to wait and see if this thing starts becoming more bigger and bigger, and what, if any, the Trump administration is going to do about it. Now, what happened to Trump's relationship with Epstein? Let's take a look at that, because that is the other thing, right? Did Epstein have a file on Trump? Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein had a documented social and professional relationship spanning in the late 1980s to early 2000s, about 15-20 years, something like that, primarily in New York and Palm Beach social circles. They were photographed together at events, including at Trump's Mar-a-Lago in 1992, 1997, and 2000, 3 times. Flight logs confirm Trump flew on Epstein's private plane at least 7 times between 1993 and 1994, sometimes with his then wife Maria Maples and daughter. He has only one daughter, if I remember correctly, so you know who it is. Their relationship reportedly soured in 2004 over a competitive bidding war for a Palm Beach mansion, which Trump ended up winning. He says, I banned Epstein from coming to Mar-a-Lago because I saw Epstein allegedly harass a member of my let me put it this way. Trump later claimed he banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after Epstein allegedly harassed a member's teenage daughter. So somewhere there is also indication that Epstein himself was a pedophile. It was not just that he had people whom, to whom he would supply children, but he himself was doing this. And there are many witnesses who are still alive who testify to this. So that's the other case. Some witnesses have said that they have seen Trump with a bunch of girls at the Epstein Island. Now, whether they'll come and say that under oath and what kind of proof they have, those are all things that will come out in time. Right now, there is no such thing. I just want to put the facts out there. But by 2019, following Epstein's arrest on federal sex trafficking charges, remember this happened under Trump's watch in his first term. If Trump was really, afraid of what Epstein would have over him, then why would he order the arrest? Or are you saying that, well, Trump had no knowledge of this, this was a local matter, which is where Epstein was arrested? I don't know. You make the decision on that. But Trump at that point of time distanced himself, saying that he was not a fan and had not spoken to Epstein in 15 years. Now, there is a former model, like I told you, Stacey Williams, that made a claim that Trump groped her at Trump Tower while Epstein watched, which Trump's campaign denies. Trump has had many such instances. Another accuser, Jane, testified in 2021 that Epstein introduced her to Trump at Mar-a-Lago when she was 14, and although no improper behavior by Trump was alleged. So some meeting of girls has also taken place, but she did not accuse Trump of doing anything improper. Audio tapes from 2017, released by Michael Wolff in 2024, feature Epstein claiming he was Trump's closest friend for 10 years and alleging inappropriate conduct through Trump's campaign, dismissed these as false smears by a disgraced writer. I don't know if Jeffrey Epstein was a writer. I have no idea, guys, about that part. But this is the best part here. Bill O'Reilly, a former Fox News host, claimed that he and Trump spoke earlier this year, that is 2025, regarding the Epstein records. And Trump had told him that these files include names of innocent people who just had lunch with Jeffrey Epstein. And he said dropping their names without context would ruin lives, and he wanted AG Pam Bondi to spill the facts without naming names. That also hasn't happened. They've just put a carte blanche blanket right now. So this is one reason why MAGA probably is not very happy with it. O'Reilly said, and I agree, there are lots of names associated with Epstein that had nothing to do with Epstein's contact. So that's where we have, viewers. And this is a really sad day in the saga of Epstein files. But one thing comes out clear. Politicians think that they are a breed, a class apart, that the normal rules don't apply to them. And you can add people who are billionaires, multimillionaires, and some even in the intelligence community are also accused of having made use of Epstein's services. So this is where we stand right now. I'm just going to take a quick look at how many questions there are, and then once I've answered the questions, I will wrap this up. I'm not going to answer anything outside of the Epstein file, guys. Sorry. We can look at that later. Okay. All right. 2 questions. Here we go. Subbareddy Nandigama wants to know, Namaskaram, maybe Trump US government is no different from India or any other country's government. Money talks. Well, everybody has their right to be, sort of leery of this whole thing, and it leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth. I don't know how to answer this question. I'm not saying that what Trump is doing is right or wrong. I'm not saying that there is smoke. I'm just saying that what is happening is really, really sad. Again, like I said, even the Diddy Combs verdict, it's split. What does that mean? Does he go to jail or does he not go to jail? What about all the evidence presented? Is that going to be shared in public or not? So all these are questions that people are asking. I don't know, guys. I'm sorry, I'm not able to give you a definitive answer on this. Are there any credible sources that link Trump to Epstein's activities? No, they did a complete, thorough, comb-nail version of entire stuff that Trump was doing a number of times. These are all recorded in flights manifests and things of that nature. They don't see anything beyond what has already been spread here. But they were friends for 10 years. We don't know how many times, how many places they met. One thing is for sure, Epstein was a pedophile. That much is sure. I think that also some girls have accused him of that. People who have been around Epstein's house, they've all said this thing. So it's too difficult for him to walk away from that part. Boomerang wants to know, how are conspiracy theories surrounding Epstein affecting public perception of Trump? Well, his solid MAGA base is upset. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't know what's going to happen. Like I said, if it boomerangs into a bigger level, at the worst, they may just say, oh, Pam Bondi didn't do her job. We are going to have another investigation, and they'll have another person come in and investigate. Give them 3 to 6 months and nothing will come out of it. And slowly it will die its own death. That's how normally such things go. We'll see how it goes. Last question. When Trump could have lunch with Munir and shake hands with Jolani, what can be expected? Well, yes, you're right. These are all things that politicians do as part of their job. And today's terrorist is tomorrow's friend. That's what the implication here is. And I'm sorry, guys. There are very few politicians that I have respect for who live by some moral standards and who are faultless and blemishless. This is a vanishing breed. That's all I can tell you. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.